So welcome back to another vlog, and I really want to make this vlog, especially after making that video yesterday. I hope it didn't come off as kind of a bummer video. I wasn't meaning for it to be like that. All I was saying is that I was contemplating, one day ending the show. Because, sometimes things gotta end at times, That's kind of how I looked at it, but I'm not saying I'm doing it 100%. I just said that I was thinking about it, type of thing. So what I thought I'd do is just talk about some other things going on and kind of lighten the mood a little bit. And what was I going to say about, so what's happening this week? This Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm going to Seattle with Kim for our anniversary, and it's also SakuraCon down there, big Japanese animation convention. And this is kind of a cool one because early in the show's history, I went down there. I went down with the girl I went out with before, Kim. And this is like over 7+ years ago. And I went to SakuraCon. And what was really weird is the show was a lot smaller then. I think I had maybe around, I think it was about 4,000 to 5,000 subscribers when I went back then. And I went and I was, just such a fan, and I was able to walk around and have such a good time. And it's so good to 7 years later go to a convention and just go as a fan. And that's the whole point of the weekend, is just to, I'm telling you guys I'm going to Seattle, but I'm not saying it to everybody that I'm going to Seattle, because I want to go down and just have a good time like I did 7 years ago, and just go and be with Kim and have a good time at this anime con, and just kind of look around and just see what happens and just not plan anything. I think that'll be a lot of fun for sure. So that's something for later in the week. I'm just getting a video ready for Wednesday that I shot like a month and a half ago. That's going to be ready to go. That's a 30-minute video. It's an interview with I'm not even going to ruin it because I think it's cool. I'm actually kind of nervous about the video. I'm like, I don't know how well this will do. I don't think it's going to do well. But I hope people like it and see why I shot it. It's a very important video, I feel, for me to make with the person that I have on. And it's a long video. That's my concern. But I think for anybody patient who watches it, there's some incredible gold in there. There's some moments that are like jaw-dropping. And I can't say what the moments are, but they are in there. So, okay, what else do I want to talk about? So me and Kim have been doing some experimenting. Kim is a photographer, and she's really good. She does like wedding photography and all that kinds of stuff. And does her own personal portraits. So we've been playing. This is her camera, by the way. This is her flight. This is so expensive. It's insane. She saved up for this. I think it took her like 3 years to save up for this camera. But just the lens alone is $1,500. Never mind the body here. So this is her Nikon D, what is it? Oh God, D810 or whatever. I'm not a camera person, like photography camera person. But we've been playing with this camera, shooting it with the show. We've done a whole bunch of tests to see what it looked like, and it looked incredible. But it's just hard keeping the focus because this lens is it's very finicky. If I move my hand towards the camera, it's out of focus, type of thing. So we're just playing with this right now as a potential, it's another way to shoot the show maybe in the future. And so that's one thing that we're looking at right now. And yeah, I just kind of want to rant and rave here. Is that, man, yesterday something kind of crazy happened. I saw a movie 21 years ago, Trainspotting. I rented it, VHS, I think it was. And I was watching, this is when I lived at home 21 years ago. And I was in the basement, and I watched the movie, and my parents were in the other room. And I kept running out going, oh my God, this movie's so intense. And I'm like, you guys would not want to watch this still, because I knew my parents would be so, that movie's intense. It was intense for me. I had to keep running out of the room going, this movie's fucking nuts. And I think my parents watched it later on, and they quite liked it. But it was so weird that Trainspotting 2 has just come out, and there's not a lot of fare for it, fanfare. I think hardcore fans are excited, like myself and Kim. So me and Kim went to the theater. There's only 3 theaters in Vancouver that are showing the movie. So we had to go to this theater, and I'm like, Kim, we might be late for that. This movie might be packed out because there's only 3 theaters showing it. And we get there, and there's nobody in the theater. It was just me and Kim. It was really kind of sad, and we sat there and I watched this movie, and it's the follow-up, and I'm not going to give any spoilers. It's the follow-up to the movie from 21 years ago. What happens to those characters 20 years plus later, and how everything gets resolved and all of that. And man, I don't even remember the last time this happened to me. I was fucking so emotional watching this movie. It was ridiculous. I mean, those characters from 21 years ago, they're despicable people in so many ways, but you really like them as well. You really connected with those characters. I mean, Trainspotting is one of those incredible movies that just came together perfectly. The acting, the story, everything. If you haven't seen Trainspotting, you have to see it. It's really brutal. It's about a bunch of heroin addicts that are friends and all the things that happen to them, and it's not a nice movie, but it's a fascinating watch, and it's so well acted. And to see those characters come back 21 years later, and for me to be, I think this is what hit me emotionally, was for me to watch it 21 years later, and where I'm at in my life compared to when I was 21 years old, 22 years old, watching that movie. It was crazy, and how I was loving my parents, and how I watched the first one there, and I don't know, man. It's so funny. I'll admit something. I don't mind admitting it. We left the theater, and I put my aviators on, and I was like choked up. I was just like, the movie seemed to me to be not just like a sequel. It was talking about people and what happens to them over time and how they change or don't change. And I took it all personally. I took it all into me, and it just totally hit me like really intense. I was in such a weird mood yesterday, and I never feel that way, but I felt so emotional of that movie. Just the as I say, the passage of time, and even like for all of our lives, when you look back 20 years later and you're like, wow, look where I was there to now. It's amazing, isn't it? It's truly amazing. And I like to stop and smell the roses and have some of that feeling. I'm somebody, you may not believe this, but I'm not caught in the past at all. But sometimes when I think about the passage of time, that's what brings the nostalgic thing in, and it's like, wow, where I was with my friends and my relationships and my everything then to now, and it's so cool to see. And yeah, Trainspotting 2 was fucking awesome for that. Is it as good as the first movie? I don't think any movie could be, but it was a great follow-up sequel. And yeah, sometimes on the show I wish I could just do like do a Trainspotting review, but it doesn't fit in with the whole video game stuff. So I always push so many things I'd like to do on the back burner and say, nah, I won't do that because, well, it doesn't really relate to the channel and stuff like that. So anyways, yeah, sorry to go on a rant there, but I really want to talk about Trainspotting 2. That movie was just wow and all that. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for supporting the show and for enjoying it over the years. I really do appreciate it. And I'm getting back to how I originally started, is that I don't sound like, I didn't want to scare anybody or bother anybody, make anybody feel upset that may be ending the show, but one of those things that potentially in the future I may do, I may not do. I'm just going to keep going by the seat of my pants, having a bit of fun, and trying to enjoy it. And that's what it's all supposed to be about. And let me tell you this much, I really do enjoy the show. So, anyways, guys, till next vlog.